How's it going, everybody? All of you beautiful people around the world, you guys read the title. I performed very well with my Eraserhead deck today at my very first locals. I want to give you guys a breakdown. I did go X1, got 5 packs for my troubles, so not too bad. In terms of my pulls, nothing extremely special. You know, just cards to add to the trade binder. If anybody needs anything, I can go ahead and trade them. Didn't hit any of the cards that I ideally wanted, and then got a whole bunch of commons and uncommons and things like that. Just a couple cards. I'm thinking of building all my decks. So Missouri Smash. I was also able to get my hands on some Tokuyami stuff, and then Rapid Tape Strike. That's another Tokuyami. Tokuyami there. And then some Todoroki stuff. Like I said, because I'm planning on playing Dobby, I just want all of like the ranged fire cards, just because I feel like that will go well with Dobby. But yeah, so like I said, I went X1 with Void Kick Eraser. If you guys want to see the full deck profile, you can go ahead and click the card on the top right. If you guys want me to go in depth, I'm going to show you guys some quick changes that I made to the build. Nothing extreme, literally nothing extreme at all. I even mentioned it briefly in my previous video. I'll talk about some of the things that I'm probably going to change, and I'm probably going to run this deck back because I do have an online tournament coming up this Thursday that I'm most likely going to be streaming here on YouTube as well. So if you guys are interested in that, I will be streaming that here on this channel, and you guys can see me pilot this deck in action. So the one deck that I lost to was Jiro. Like I mentioned, I went X1. So the first match was unofficial, went up against Midoriya. By match in the tournament, I went up against Bakugo, which went 2-0, my favor. Then I went against Jiro. Game 1 was a slugfest. Like, it was super close, absolute slugfest. Like, that game alone almost brought us into time, basically. With how long that we took. It was, honestly, that game was super unlucky. I basically control checked all of my attacks, and then I got to the point where I had to remove the top 10, or I had to shuffle my discard pile, remove 10 cards, and then have that again, which obviously meant I had no erase in my discard pile, so I was just basically screwed. And I think I played maybe 3 attacks throughout that game, 3, maybe 4, and I have 18 attacks in my deck, right? I just got super unlucky. Also, because Jiro has that ability where she can discard the top card of your deck, and then every time that ability was used, it was just hitting my attacks. So that sucked. But to be completely fair, in game 2, I got wiped because I was feeling that time was coming, and I wanted to get as much damage on the board. I wanted to see if I could play as aggressive as possible, try to tie it up 1-1, and then maybe if it went into time, I could try to do some shenanigans and see if I could take the win there. But unfortunately, my aggressive play left me wide open, and I believe he killed me on his, not his first attacking turn, but his second attacking turn. Because I went first, he went second, he built foundations, he built his foundations, then I was attacking, then he attacked, then I went, then I attacked, and then on his next turn to attack, he just blew me out of the water. He comboed me with four attacks, and I was just done. In hindsight, I needed to use Erase more. I needed to use the effect to stop Jiro from allowing his attacks to just pop off. And again, this just comes with matchup knowledge. I've never actually faced a Jiro deck until today. And I really underestimated how good her response is, because it's actually per attack. If I'm correct. I'm just trying to pull it up here on my computer. So yeah, so it's after you play a charge attack, it gets +1 damage for each card in your card pool. But then also, after you play a weapon attack, it gets +1 speed for each card in your card pool. And for me, I wasn't taking advantage of my erase enough to basically seal off the ability on Jiro, so that she's not able to pop off when he keeps extending and when he keeps playing those attacks, because that ultimately would have saved me, right? When he's on his 3rd attack, his 4th attack, and he's playing the Momo package as well, he has these foundations that he can play, and then has cards to ignore progressive difficulty, like Staff Strike and all that type of stuff. The boosts get actually pretty ridiculous. So, sorry, I just moved my camera there. So if I had the ability to go ahead and shut that off, I feel like that actually could have saved me. And again, with Aizawa, with Eraserhead with 19 life only, it's not that much, right? So you want to be able to play as defensively as possible. So I feel like I definitely need to practice against Jiro. I need to see how I want to play against her, and how I want when I want to use that erase effect. But again, I definitely underestimated Jiro, and I actually think Jiro is actually a really really good deck. Whether you build her around all or build her around air, I think that she's a very, very solid character card. And I might even mess around and try and build my own deck, build my own air version or all version, and see what I can put together. Because I honestly think that she's a really good deck. But yeah, I got 2-0'd. Honestly, that second game, I got cleaned. First game was pretty close, pretty stressful. But game 2, I got cleaned. So kudos to him. Really good guy. Fun match. Last match, I went up against... what did I go up against last match? I went up against Momo and I 2-0'd. First game, I'm gonna be real. He got extremely unlucky. I think on his first build, he went first, and on his first build, I think he was only able to build 2 foundations, and then I went. So it's almost like I went first. And in this game, honestly, like going first is so overpowered. I feel like I'm gonna make a video on that in the future. But going first is so overpowered, I think. And not being able to get a good build on your first turn is very detrimental, especially if you allow me to go second and it's basically like my first turn. I was able to just pop off because now in his turn 2, he had to focus on building foundations. I was already starting my onslaught of attacks. And then by my second turn to attack, I was able to finish him off with a great chain of attacks. And then game 2, it was a little bit more competitive. He almost went into deadlock. But he was able to stave off of that. It was really close. I think he got me down to about 9 life. And then I was able to finish him off with a really, really good dunk. I was able to I was able to play 3 back-to-back high attacks. So I believe I played 1 binding kick, and then I went for 2 flying thruster kicks. And it just so happened that he had no high blocks, so he was able to take half damage on the first one, and then after that he had just low blocks in hand, so I was able to just basically be super aggressive and push for game with these, right? So using Aswa's effect to make it 6/6 highs, that's 12 damage, right? So it's pretty good at that point of the game, and I was able to take the game off that. So from there I was able to go X1, and yeah, so that was my locals. I think I played relatively well for my first in-person event for this game. I'm very, very pleased. I definitely feel like I could have played a lot better, especially in that Jiro matchup, and that's just something I'm gonna have to practice. I feel like Aizawa, like this game, of course, is very skill-based. That's the thing that I like, and it obviously the more you play this game, the more knowledge you get about this game, the better you will be because you'll know how to play around stuff. And I think like that's just gonna be my thing right now. I definitely need to practice against Jiro, and just in terms of piling Eraserhead, because it's very important to know when you want to commit him when you play or block with Erase, so you can draw 2 cards. Because then you have to remember you won't be able to continuously -2 speed on your opponent. You won't be able to recycle your erases, use them, things like that. So that's something that's very important. So timing is very key, and a smart opponent will try to bait you out, try to make you block with your Erase in hand or things like that. We try to use your Night Watch. So it's very, very skill dependent. And I definitely think that as I get better, as a better player, I can grow with this deck. So yeah, let me just run through the build real quick. Again, pretty much nothing changed, but just in case you guys just came here and wanted to see the report. So 4 copies of Erase. I will never play less than 4 copies. Like, man, I love having 4 copies of this card. It's friggin' awesome. I want to get these all in XR if possible, but 4 copies of Erase. The attack lineup is the exact same. So 4 binding kick, 4 flying thruster kick, 4 reciprocal extend. This card is fucking amazing. 4 engine rush and 2 reciprocal bursts. Now for the attacks, sorry, I just want to give credit where credit is due. Tarnish in my YouTube comments for my deck profile mentioned that I should have played Tape Swing or one of Tape Swing. I was actually looking to pick up one because I did do some play testing and I actually do like it. So hopefully I will be able to pick up one and put this in this deck. Now, of course, it is not a kick attack, but Tape Swing, and you guys can see it on the screen right now, is actually a pretty damn good card. And there was a time, and I believe it was against a Jiro deck, where if I did have that Tape Swing, I probably could have won the game. Just being able, because I had 3, I think I had 3. No, I think I had 2. I either had 2 or 3 momentum at that time. So literally, I would be able to just end the game off that because I would be able to get +2 damage, +2 damage, it's +4 damage, and I'd be able to push for game. So I kind of wish I had Tape Swing at that moment, but it is what it is. But I definitely think Tape Swing could be a really good fit in this deck, even though it's not a kick. So that would probably be the only attack that I would change. Other than that, this card was really good in my game against Bakugo. I just did a huge dunk and like It was just absolutely nasty. I think 2's fine. I know I was playtesting. I was playing 3-3. But I do like the +2, or I do like the draw 2 off this, and 5-5 isn't bad, even though it's a mid. So I'm pretty happy with the attack lineup. So yeah, that would be the only thing I'd change. Maybe I'd add one tape swing. But other than that, foundations. So the only thing that I changed with the foundations is I got rid of all the late risers. I felt like I wasn't getting any value for it. So because of that, I just played more spammable foundations so I can have more consistent builds. So I just rounded out everything. So 4 gotcha, 4 mediator. Now remember, I was playing 3, 4 resistance where I was playing 3 before, 4 tape where I was playing 3 before. So instead of playing 3 of these and then playing 3 late riser, I just dropped the 3 late riser and added 1 copy of tape, resistance, and mediator so I can have more spam. Then 2 think fast, 2 night watch, great card. 4 natural leader, being able to cancel 1 foundation or make them that they're not able to use it, then also get that extra +2 speed. And then 4 heroic lineage, a card that's absolutely busted and I love so much. So that's the deck. Again, not any big changes, just added a couple foundations, removed a couple foundations. Attack lineup was the exact same, but again, thinking about adding that tape swing if I can get my hands on it. Then yeah, then I'll probably change that. But that being said, guys, I'm probably going to be piloting this deck once again this Thursday, like I said, on my live stream. If not, I might be playing my Aoyama deck. We'll see what I feel like doing. But yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. I'm honestly loving this deck, and I honestly feel like this deck has so much potential, and as I get better as a player, this deck will just scale, right? Like, I feel like this deck will get better as I get better, as more sets come out. I'm loving Void Kick Aizawa. Yeah, this deck is an absolute beast. If you guys haven't played it, I highly recommend you guys try building it and test it out yourself. But that being said, guys, I will catch you guys on my next video. Take it easy. Peace out.